this video, I'm going to react to Rabbit's reaction to BJ's bodycam footage. Did you get all that? The reason I'm using Rabbit's footage is because she's been involved in the mental health industry, and I believe she has a lot more experience than Lima does. Plus, BJ didn't provide any commentary, she just posted the bodycam footage in its entirety. Now, there is quite a bit of footage, so I'm going to try and whittle it down to the main points that I'd like to make. If you'd like to see the unedited entire footage, BJ's link is in the description below. And if you'd like to watch Rabbit's entire discussion regarding the footage, her link is also in the description below. But I won't be covering every second of the footage. I'm just going to make the points that I want to make, which may or may not add to the discussion around bias and stigma. If you want some background forethought on these topics, refer to my last video. But I will start this video with a little recap from Jenny Haynes, or Dr. Jenny Haynes, just to remind us how bias and stigma interferes with the natural course of justice.
Why are we leaving the worst cases of abuse to be dealt with by the victim themselves? Because I had, so many disgraceful things said about me. Oh, you can't believe a word Jenny says? She's got multiple personality disorder. So they wouldn't believe my abuse history because I had MPD. The only way I get MPD is to have an abuse history.
Yeah, it's the ultimate catch-22, isn't it?
I would add to that catch-22 Lima's idea that you have to force people into treatment, but let's not digress. Let's get into this body cam footage analysis.
Okay, serious. Hello.
Take notice how the mother's talking because it changes over time. In my opinion, allegedly, don't sue me.
She was suffocating.
She choked you?
She choked me.
Okay, can we come inside?
Yeah, we're gonna come inside real quick.
Okay, here, just have a seat. Have a seat. Okay.
So let me tell you right now, one thing that we all have to understand is, for those especially, I know KT social is in here, worker is in here, and other possible mental health professionals. When you're in a situation like this, you're just kind of ensure safety, right? When I would work residential I've worked in 3. When I worked in different residential treatment centers, one of the things is to just de-escalate and ensure everybody's safe. Make sure everybody's safe, okay? Which is exactly what these officers are doing. Now, is their area, the way in which they were talking to and trying to get information, it seemed to me that they have at least some level of understanding of diffusing the situation. They know the family. It sounds like they've been there before, but also I think part of the issue with that is that you get into this situational, thing where there's going to be bias to how you treat the victim of what's going on. There's going to be bias. Any diagnosis, all right, especially like schizophrenia or anything like that, and they've dealt with you before, there's going to be bias. Matter of fact, they'll probably send the same officer over because they are either they know you and they want to de-escalate the situation because their priority is safety, right? Just like everybody else's, but they want to de-escalate the situation. There's probably already a little bit of a bias as to who they're going to arrest, who they're going to talk to, how they're going to treat the situation. Anchor diagnosing, right. So if anybody says, well, so-and-so has schizophrenia, they're just going to take that and then maybe interview other people that don't have that diagnosis to get more information from the situation. Do you know what I'm saying? I am not surprised at all by this. It happens a lot more, and it's unfortunate because it's not like the person with the mental illness is lying. It's just the way in which they're trying to minimize the risk and they're trying to ensure safety of everyone. I'll give you that. All right, let me hit play.
Here, just have a seat. Have a seat right there.
Yes, clear biases. Jody, clear biases.
Where is she?
Where is she?
I don't know. She's in the bathroom. Maybe I don't know what she's doing. Is it Dahlia? Yeah. Okay.
You see right there, her voice just changed. It seems to me, allegedly, that she temporarily forgot that she was trying to bung on a whisper.
Hey, Dahlia? Dahlia? Hey, it's the Tulsa police. We need to talk to you. Okay, well, we still have to talk to you, so we need you to get out of the...
That's not how that works.
And then just there, she remembered suddenly that she was trying to bung on a whisper.
No, you have to come out. You have to come out. Okay, either we're coming in or you're going to come out on your own.
She stops me in the bathroom.
I understand. I'm trying to get your side of the story, but you have to come out. Okay? Just come out and talk to me.
Can I just unlock the door? I don't want to be around her.
Yes, I will shut this other door and you can just talk to me.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Are you dressed?
Oh, yeah, I have a dress on.
You have okay. Are you bleeding?
Yeah.
Where at?
What happened?
You're not bleeding?
No.
Okay. What's going on? What happened tonight?
So she has all of her devices and her phone and everything set up to me.
I want you to notice how Dahlia starts off fairly normal and calm, but then she gets herself worked up, recounting what happened. Let's just replay that bit so you can see what I'm talking about.
Where at?
What happened?
You're not bleeding?
No.
Okay. What's going on? What happened tonight?
So she has all of her devices and her phone and everything set up to me.
She answers the officer no very calmly and then starts telling the story, still fairly calm considering, but then she winds up while she's recounting the story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I literally asked her if she would go for a drive because she spends 24/7 stalking me, and actually she will never leave me alone.
Now you can hear she's a little bit more upset, but as she continues into the story, she gets more and more hyped up.
And I'm really peaceful. I just spent all my time in my room, and she'd always framing me and calling the police and saying, I heard her on the phone and saying, she's crazy, oh my gosh, I'm so traumatized, she's just like her sister, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm nothing like that, I was normal, and I asked her 2.5 years ago to leave me alone. And she literally just stalks me, and this place smells like it's burning on fire 24/7, and I can't breathe, and if I step outside to go sit on the couch, on the front porch, she literally walks through, watches through the curtains, opens the door a trillion times, then says, I'm gonna call the police, blah, blah, blah. She literally has me psychotic with lies about me to the police.
Let's take some deep breaths.
And then she starts crying, going, I'm so traumatized.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's just take some breaths.
And then she calls the police. I heard on the phone. Just breathe for a second. She's getting aggressive. She's hurting me again. And I'm like, that's...
I appreciate, like I said, that they're trying to calm her down. Take some deep breaths, one at a time. Let her talk. Let her talk. Let her say what she has to say.
Totally agree. They asked her what the story is and she's telling them. Fine, calm her down, slow her down so that you can take in what she's saying, but let her answer you.
That's part of that bias though, to be quite honest, that comes in for those that have, they've either been to the house before, which it sounds like they have. Thank you. Listen long enough. Yes, she's upset and she's her you could definitely tell she's heightened, but listen to what she's saying. Let her talk. Let her talk. Nothing wrong with that.
It's true.
Dahlia, just take some breaths.
Take some breaths, okay.
Just get some breaths.
Okay. In and out.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any injuries?
I just want her to go to jail.
Okay.
Okay.
I've been asking for that for 2.5 years.
What happened tonight?
Okay, so she's calmed down a little bit, but then they ask her again what happened, and she gets wound up again. It's like what Jenny said, when you expect the potential victim to have to recount the story, of course they're going to get upset. They're reliving what they just went through.
I literally asked her to go for a drive, and then she gets all of her devices, and they start acting all weird because she has everything linked up to me. So I asked her to leave her phone here, and then she called the police and started crying and saying that I was attacking her. And then I took the phone and I locked myself in the bathroom, and then she broke that door trying to come in and kill me. And then she starts crying, going, help me, she's trying to kill me. And I'm like, I'm trying to hide in the bathroom, and she literally won't leave me alone without her phone. And she started freaking out and crying, and she has all of her devices set up. To me, this place is like set up like a production house.
So essentially, she just recounted what she just said a couple of seconds ago, and it's the same story, only this time she's added more detail about the bathroom and so on. But those details are still matching up with what she just said previously.
It's the freakiest thing ever.
She's been trying to get her arrested. I'm trying to see if there's any markings to the door that would have, said like, yeah, she tried to break into the door or anything like that.
I think she says it's the other bathroom in the mother's bedroom. But we do see some body cam from that bedroom, so we can have a closer look when we get to that.
She's saying, she has to set up as a production house. When I heard that, I said, well, if this is what Dahlia is saying, are they looking around the home to maybe find, I don't know. I know that the lady had a laptop on her bed. What other signs gave Dahlia that impression that this is set up as a production house? Yes. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what? Independent of Dahlia's mental health, what other investigation did the police do to at least consider her statements? Because based on if she is diagnosed correctly, based on that alone, she's vulnerable by that. She's vulnerable but for people taking advantage of her. She's vulnerable of people abusing her. She's vulnerable of people doing stuff to her based on her mental health and her mental state alone. So independent of ensuring that the scene was safe and that these officers, that she is okay, what other investigation did they do to her allegations? Nothing?
She literally just lives to just kill me, resurrect me a million times.
That right there. It sounds outlandish, but we do know that Lima has said that the twins have died 7 times over. That corroboration came from Lima's own mouth. Something tells me we're the only ones looking into what corroborating evidence there is to support Dahlia's story.
And rapists after me, like this huffing thing and all the stem cells from my attack on her. It smells disgusting, and then everyone's a huffer. I can feel it on the and breathing all weird. And I'm like, it's disgusting. I can tell on the phone.
It's okay. Just breathe.
Breathe. Take some deep breaths.
We don't have to get hyped up. We're here. Okay.
I just want her to go to jail.
Okay. Did you guys get in a physical fight tonight?
Yeah. The door is broken in the other bathroom.
In the other one?
That's what I'm saying. She's so strong.
Okay.
Okay.
This kind of reminds me of the recordings in the Depp v. Heard saga, where Depp said he'd locked himself in several different bathrooms, but Heard kept coming after him, which makes me wonder if the mother maybe has some mental health issues as well.
Did you hurt her? Did she hurt you?
She did. Yeah, she always does. Like I said, this place building is.
So can you tell me how the interaction went?
Yeah.
Here we go again from the top. It's very frustrating listening to her trying to convince the police that she's the victim, and knowing that the only reason that they're not believing her is because the mother said she was psycho.
Like I said, I asked her if she would go for a drive so I could get a break from her, and then she starts being like, don't talk to me this way, and I'm like, talk to you like what? Healthy people in normal lives? Literally, you go stir crazy if you're around each other 24/7. And I'm like, I literally spend all my time in my room 24/7, and she just follows me around and watches me and does all this stuff on her computers, and I'm literally just like a prisoner, like being held hostage by her. And then I just feel like I'm being raped 24/7 by people because of sex trafficking stuff. And she doesn't know anything about sex. Well, I don't know, she's like the one doing it. And she like sends rapists after me, and it's like programs my stem cells. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I just feel like I don't know what's going on.
Again, she starts out fairly calmly, given the circumstances, and then as she gets into the story, she gets more and more upset and starts talking quicker and quicker.
Bingo, right there. She's saying, I know that sounds ridiculous. You know, it makes me so sad because there is like when people are struggling through a situation like this, they really don't want to be there. This is real to this girl. She is really feeling this right now. And even to have somebody acknowledge that for a little bit of, she says she smelled burning. What does that mean? What does it feel like, right? Those are things, this is really real for this girl right at this time. But she says and acknowledges, I know that sounds ridiculous, which then made me think, damn, how many people out there has she described these symptoms to? And then also, they have also not believed it. She says, I know this sounds ridiculous. It is like feeling trapped into a situation and not being able to escape out of that. That's what that is like. Just saying, I don't know.
24/7 because I don't feel anything, and I don't have any of my medications, and she does all of it on purpose. Like, I have no sensations at all, so I can't tell when someone's touching me. You know what I'm saying? And so then I'm like, what else? Like, what's going on? I'm confused, huh? And then it feels like I go brain dead again, and then I get this weird thing, Dahlia, there's people fucking you 24/7, but I can't tell because I can't feel my body at all. And I don't have any of my medications, and she does all of it on purpose. Like,
I don't have any of my medications. She takes it all on purpose. When I heard that, I said, okay, like, she's not refusing. She's not, look, she's not saying, like, they're giving me the wrong medication. She's not saying, like, I don't want to take my medication. So I'm not getting the sense that she's not necessarily wanting to not comply with taking medication. That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing somebody who's really, like, in conflict with the person that is supposed to be taking care of her at that time, right? It's a lot. Withholding, yes, or taking. What does that mean? And why wasn't that a red flag? What medication specific? They're not even saying that. Exactly. You can't just start and stop psych meds. So this should have been a red flag of, like, all right, so when did she stop taking the medication? Did she need to take the medication? Like, what is this all about? Like, what's up? What's up?
No sensations at all, so I can't tell when someone's touching me. You know what I'm saying? And so then I'm like, what else? Like, what's going on? I'm confused, huh? And then it feels like I go brain dead again, and then I get this weird thing, Dahlia, there's people fucking you 24/7, but I can't tell because I can't feel my body.
I have to wonder if Dahlia is having trouble discerning when she's in the virtual reality world versus the real world. Because some of the things that she's describing sounds like the virtual reality world. Like, she thinks something's happening, but she's not sure because she can't feel her body. That could literally be a response to being exposed to a trauma, and her brain shutting out a physical response to said trauma.
At all.
When was the last time she allowed you to take medication?
She had, like I said, I don't have a cell phone, and she does that on purpose. She took my laptop. So I literally, like, I don't have a phone, I don't have a computer, I don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in this room 24/7, and it's disgusting.
I understand.
Yeah, and I haven't had my medications for over a month.
Over a month? Okay.
Yeah.
Over a month.
What's your bracelet from?
Oh, because I went to the hospital yesterday because I wasn't feeling well.
What was wrong yesterday?
The same thing, I couldn't breathe.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I just couldn't breathe when I was in the house. I felt like I was being burned alive again.
Okay.
And I just felt like my heart racing and stuff, so I went to the hospital.
Okay.
That sounds very much like a panic attack to me. And I kind of think somebody with a predisposition to panic attacks probably shouldn't be living with someone who doesn't know how to deal with panic attacks, allegedly.
I felt like I was being burned alive again.
Okay.
And I just felt like my heart racing and stuff, so I went to the hospital.
Okay. Well, we're going to get it figured out. About anything else?
No.
No?
I just want to be alone. I just want her gone.
You what?
I don't even know who she is. I can't tell if she's a girl or a boy.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Okay.
I just want her gone. I want her in jail. I thought that killing and eating her daughter was a crime. I didn't think that it was okay. What's okay about that? Having me set up like a production house while you kill me and eat me 24/7.
Where's your sister? Dahlia. Hey.
Okay, he just called her Delilah. So now I'm wondering if he is familiar with this family or not. You'd think if he'd submitted several reports about these occasions, he would actually get her name right. Just a thought.
Hey, where's your sister at?
I don't know. I'm so traumatized by the two of them. I can't tell them apart. I'm serious.
Okay.
Because she pretends to be me and committed fraud, so now no one believes me about anything.
Hang on, wait up. She pretends to be me. I'm not sure if she's talking about Dia or her mother here, but it is common for twins to pretend to be each other. My mum's brothers are twins, and they would do that when they were children to get each other into trouble. But it's hard to tell in this body cam footage, but the mother does sound an awful lot like Dahlia. But on top of all of that, Lima also pretends to be the girls. Sometimes the records she's written, she's been at this school or that school, and BJ was only able to find records for the twins. And then trying to pin her age down, we kept coming back to the twins' ages. And listening to Lima's voice, I wouldn't put it past her to pretend to be the twins verbally as well.
I'm believing you.
Because she says her sister, and like, she's nothing like me.
Yeah, I caught that too. I can't tell if she's a boy or a girl. I'm so traumatized by them. She's nothing like me. She wants her mom arrested. I don't like this at all. I don't like it at all. What does that mean? She pretends to be me. She's scared, not paranoid. I'm not hearing that she's thank you for saying that. I'm hearing that she's scared. I'm not hearing paranoia from her. And she acknowledges when she said about the stem cell and everything else. I know this sounds like off. Like, she can acknowledge when something is off. Something's off in the whole situation. I'm not hearing paranoia. I'm not. I don't know.
The reason I went crazy is because she stole my identity and said rapist after me, pretending to be me. And then my mom joined in on it, and then she says, Dahlia's crazy, they're literally just here to steal from me.
When was the last time you saw your sister?
I don't know. When she left, she's in the psych hospital now, and I'm so...
Did you hear that? She just said Dia is in the psych hospital. Listen again.
When she left, she's in the psych hospital now, and I'm so...
I'm absolutely certain she just said Dia is in the psych hospital. And that would be at least one mystery solved. We know where Dia is now. She's not in jail, she's in a psych hospital. And we know it's not voluntary because she petitioned a writ of habeas corpus, which essentially means that she thinks she's being held illegally.
Scared of her, I don't even want to think about her.
Okay. Well, don't get hyped up. Just keep focusing on your breaths, okay? We'll get it figured out.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you.
What's the paint for? Do you paint?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where's your work at?
Yeah, but the thing about that, dealer, is I know they're trying to diffuse the situation and trying to calm her down. I get that. Focus on your breathings, but they're also missing the statements that she's making. They're not really listening to her. And I feel like if they would have brought a different officer or somebody with some trafficking experience, they might be able to pick up on some stuff as well that a lot of us are seeing too.
What?
Where's all your artwork at? Is it this stuff out here?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Thank you.
How long have you been painting?
A long time.
Long time?
Yeah.
Feel like it calms you down a little bit?
Yeah, I like doing it.
Yeah? What's your favorite kind?
Can you just leave me alone?
Okay.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly okay.
I'm really scared of police officers because they never do their job.
Well, you have no.
The killers and the murderers to jail, but instead they keep it going.
Poor girl.
So I just want you to leave me alone because the police never did their job.
Okay, well, we're here.
I'm going to go to jail because she's a rapist.
We're here to do our job tonight, okay?
She married a rapist, and then she said rapist after me my whole life.
She married a rapist. She's a rapist. I want you to do your job. I don't really like police officers. And what happened to the father? Where's he at? They never do their job. Yes. Well, and they're definitely not doing their job here, you know? She seems scared and scattered, but articulate in the content that she's saying. Yes.
I didn't know. All three of them were rapists.
All three of them.
Because they knew everything. So please will never believe your help. They just have this whole production house set up. They kill me, resurrect me, kill me, resurrect me a trillion times.
Interesting.
That's illegal. And they all have my stem cells. All of them. And they're hoppers. They smell me weird. They go, it's so gross the way she walks up to me. She walks up to me to sniff me.
I think I have an idea what the sniffing is about. We haven't got into Bam's side of the story yet, but Lima's of the opinion that if you don't change your clothes regularly enough, that means you can't look after yourself. So perhaps the mum's sniffing her to see if she's showered recently or not. But I'll also add that depression and anxiety can also be debilitating, and sometimes the sufferer can't get out of bed and so they don't shower every day. Doesn't necessarily mean that they need to be 51-50'd. They might just need some support and perhaps treatment for depression and anxiety.
I'm sorry.
She goes, smell it. And she starts smelling me, and I'm like, what? And I don't understand. I'm like, they watch you through their nose? What does that mean? They have eyes in their nose? And I don't get it. And they're literally trying to make me retarded on purpose. As in, oh, she can't feel anything? Oh, just pump her up with stem cells and make her walk forever.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she's completely retarded and they don't feel anything.
Something about, yeah. And Fawn says, thank you for the 199. I thought they didn't remember the trauma with their dad. Isn't that the statement that Lima made? If they have a dissociative diagnosis, right? And if you look into the research of that type of diagnosis, typically, trauma related, something in childhood. And Lima's quick to tell people, they don't remember. They didn't know they don't remember, but then they get older and they start experiencing these symptoms, right? Do they not remember their abuse when they were like at a different age and they just happen to remember it then? Like some of the things that Lima said they just don't make sense as she's describing the situation. There's so many holes to the story. Let me play again.
Sounds like you're going through a lot. It's good. Just take a minute to just breathe. Right. I'm right here in case you need me.
They just go and they smell and they all have my stem cells from my county on their faces.
Mm-hmm.
That's so gross. I can't smell anything, so I can't tell.
Why can't you smell?
What? Because my nose is broken.
You broke your nose?
Yeah, no, someone broke it.
Someone broke it?
Sex trafficking.
Okay.
And it got so deviated.
Sex trafficking.
It was so deviated, it was like I had one nostril and one of my...
She said sex trafficking. Hold up. Let me go back a little bit.
Okay.
And it got so deviated, they said, it was so deviated, it was like I had one nostril, and one of my nostrils leads to my ear.
Hold up.
Yeah, no, someone broke it.
Someone broke it?
Sex trafficking.
Okay.
Sex trafficking.
And it got so deviated, they said, it was so deviated, it was like I had one nostril, and one of my nostrils leads to my ear. So when I blow my nose, it comes out of my ear.
Yeah.
And she won't let me get my nose fixed, and then it healed broken, so that's probably why I can't breathe, and I forgot about it, because they like the fact that I can't breathe. If you touch my nose, there's no hair in it at all. See, look, it's completely broken.
What is it? Can I look?
Yeah. This nostril leads to my ear, and it's completely broken. You see that?
Yeah, I can kind of move everywhere.
It's completely broken. There's no nose hairs in here.
Yeah.
So I can't smell anything. And they all have my stem cells from my... all over their faces, so they go, and they walk up to me, and then they go, and they smell me, and I go, why is everyone doing that? She goes, so, and then she looks at me there, and then I'm like, why does it smell like boys, but I can't smell, and this nostril leads to my ear.
Yeah.
And when I went and got a check, they said it was so deviated, my wiggles around, and then it just healed broken, and that's partly to their advantage, because I can't smell anything.
So it just kind of closed off?
No, it's completely broken.
Right, it just kind of closed the canal off because it was broken?
I mean, more than that, there's absolutely no hair inside it. No hair, so I can't smell anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And then they walk up to me and they go, and they smell me weird, and I'm like, why is she doing that? And then she looks at my dowry, and I can't tell if she's a man or a woman.
Okay.
I'm serious. Or the other two, my sisters. I was supposed to be normal, and now I'm completely retarded. My face feels like rubber.
It's okay. It's
and it
okay.
feels like I'm burning 24/7, and then my skin just regrows.
Yeah.
And all the food in the fridge, it looks weird. It looks alive. Like
The fridge does?
Yeah.
The food in there? Can I sit on the toilet?
Can you go away?
I can. I can if you want me to.
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to just stand out here? Okay.
I just don't really trust anybody, especially.
I totally understand. That's okay.
Because you're supposed to take her to jail.
You're supposed to take her to jail.
Sex trafficking is illegal.
It is.
Sex trafficking is illegal. There's no questioning as to what led her to believe that she's being sex trafficked. You know, even then, like, let's get her a physical examination. Let's see what a doctor says. Is her nose okay? Has she been violated? Is there any kind of kit? She is. I do believe she's experienced a lot of what she's saying, whether it's current or from the past, or that part is not clear. That part is not clear. Right. Very weird. All of it. All of it. Let me hit play.
Very illegal, yes,
So
ma'am.
why is it allowed only on me?
That's not allowed.
So why is she still here?
Hold up. She asked the officers.
I just don't really trust anybody, especially.
I totally understand. That's okay.
But you're supposed to take her to jail. Sex trafficking is illegal.
It is very illegal, yes,
So
ma'am.
why is it allowed only on me?
That's not allowed.
So why is she still here? Why isn't she in jail?
I don't know what has happened.
Like I said.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. We're just trying to get all of it. Huh?
Send it to jail. If it's a man or a woman, I don't know.
She wants her in jail.
She rips my hair out.
She rips your hair out?
Yeah, she's been attacking me since I was a baby. Oh, the bad guy who was, she won't even tell me who he is, was a rapist.
Right.
She's been attacking me since I was a baby, or the bad guy, and she won't even tell me who he is. This indicates to me that she doesn't know who it is that's abused her. It sounds like planted memories. I do believe there are some types of therapy that could lend itself to planting memories. I know there's been several studies done on this, and I know at least one of those studies was on university students, which suggested that even adults can have memories planted that aren't really true. Not that I'm saying this is what's happened here, I just know that there's these studies that have been done.
And then she just spent her whole life saying the rapist. Anything else? Okay.
She's not right.
Mm-hmm. Do you
health might trump that?
a felony?
Yeah.
Then you do this.
Okay, so that's Dahlia's statement, and it's very clear here that some things that she's saying actually do line up with things that Lima has said, which doesn't necessarily make them true. It could well be that the twins are very suggestible, and that Lima and her mother are putting ideas in their heads, perhaps even specifically for the purpose of using them as lab rats. I'm inclined to agree with BJ and Rabbit that this type of diagnosis just doesn't appear later in life. Even Tim Roy, in my previous video, admits that his alters had been around since he was a child, but he didn't want to acknowledge them. However, in both his case and Jenny's case, they now admit that those alters helped them establish careers and live what they could of a normal life. So, I guess it is possible that the twins didn't know they had alters and were switching in and out of them pretty much all their lives. We can't rule that out. I also understand that schizophrenia is very commonly misdiagnosed as DID and vice versa. And it would be very easy for the police to hear the way Dahlia's talking here as some type of delusion, But again, I agree with Rabbit. I'm not seeing delusion, I'm seeing fear. The psychological symptoms of schizophrenia often include hallucination, paranoia, hearing voices, depression, fear, persecutory delusion, or religious delusion. We don't sort of see much of that happening here in the psychological aspect. We do see someone who's very upset because they've just been in a physical altercation with their mother, and who is absolutely struggling with what's real and what's not. But we all know, I'm not sure if the police do, but we all know that virtual reality is not real. And we don't know what she's been exposed to in the virtual reality realm, nor how much she's been exposed to in the virtual reality realm. The mere fact that some of the things that Dahlia has said have come out of Lima's mouth as well tends to indicate that there's a whole lot more going on here than simply delusions. So I'm going to leave it there. That was Dahlia's statement. And in the next video, we're going to move on to Dahlia's mother's statement, where I'll be placing equal attention to her behaviour in as much as what she says, to work out some semblance of truth in this whole mess. If there was anything that we could take away from Dahlia's statement, I think it is that we know now where Dia is. We had long since suspected that she was placed in a psychiatric hold by her sister, Lima, and now we have some cooperation from a close family member. As close as it gets when you're talking about twins.